about. So here we are seeing what changes are taking place in the workplace, and due to that, how these three major questions you see, how this is also changing. So what are those? How often people look for work, where people find work, the type of people who find work. Earlier, what was it? Earlier, people would look for an employment and they will try to spend the whole life in that single company, right? Now, people want to try new things. They want to upgrade their skills. They want to upgrade their, reach out to more people, create connections. So that's why lots of people, they prefer they to be in different companies. Every 5 years, they feel they need to move to a new company or new industry. That's how they can expand their skills, expand their knowledge, and so now the preference are changing. It's not only certainty. Certainty is where you try to end up in the same company or organization almost forever, so that you get a good retirement fund, provident fund, pension fund, and all these things. But nowadays, individuals prefer to move into different organization because their preference are different now. Their preference is to know more people, to be connected to know more social what groups. And they also want to expand their knowledge. And by expanding their knowledge, they want to try new things. And they want to always keep the challenges going on, right? Because when you go into a new company, maybe you know the skills already, but still every company has its own culture. So knowing them, getting used to of it, gaining trust of those people who are working there, moving ahead in the leadership roles in that new company is a challenge again, right? So people prefer to take that because that makes them feel and live in. So these preferences are changing, and also since we have seen lots of new organizations are coming up in different industries, so it is a challenge for these organizations also to stay stable, to grow big, and all this. So that's why maybe at one point they don't grow much, or they try to lean down, or they try to merge with some other companies. So that's how, again, from organization sides also, these people have to be more people. Maybe they will be laid off, or they will be asked to leave with a good compensation. So people are bound to look for a job in different company at one point. Now, where people find work, they said nowadays it says that more people are working with smaller companies than big companies. Sounds like that. Because lots of it see that people are now looking for niche, specialized work. And if you can connect with those kind of culture, those kind of work that you want to do, you will rather work for that company rather than a big names. So this is also changing. And lastly, the type of people who find work. It is said the people who will find work who are versatile in nature, more adaptable, who are risk takers, who want to connect with the um, uh, more social groups, and at the same time who are more team oriented, who wants to work in a more maybe in a remote setup also. Because in the first chapter we have seen these are the workplace scenarios are changing now. And if we can adapt to those kind of things, then you have more chances to get your work, right? And at the same time, who are technologically savvy. I would say in our era, in our generation, knowing our stuff, and at the same time maybe getting to if you can speak English better, you have lots of chance to get into work, right? But now I think the more technically savvy you are, your better chances to get into a work. So you have to find out what the skills are, and you have to no matter, even if you are even if you have 2 years more to complete your undergrad program, you shouldn't be waiting. You shouldn't be gaining those skills as much as possible. that website building, or like how like these like communication tools through which you can work remotely, knowing like 100% about these tools and how to use those to your advantages, maybe coding and all these things you have to learn as a second language now. And networking is always a key, no matter which country you are. You have to know the right people. Knowing the right people help you a lot. Okay, so this one, what I said pretty elaborately, and these are already like these are the one that is has been said also. Maybe I've said a little bit more than what it was written here. So the attitude, the expectation of both employers and employees are being affected not only by globalization, technology, diversity, and teams, but also by deregulation, shareholder activism, corporate downsizing, merger, accusation, outsourcing. And people also tend to be starting their own company. That is entrepreneurialism, because now you have access to your market very easily through social media. You can, so you can easily create your own product and directly reach out to your own market. So lots of people are also going to entrepreneurialism. And if they want to like go for and since there's a now this downsizing, um, uh, then what mergers and accusation are more often than ever, then people don't feel so much certain working or for one company forever or depending on one company. So sometimes in order to avoid that risk, people start up their own side hustle. And soon when this side hustle or entrepreneurism grow bigger, then they leave leave work for the other company and they totally focus on their own company. So they're all different reason why how the workplace is changing. So this is something you already know, but you can also think from different angle that we have discussed. What can you offer? So when you work in an organization, what you should be able to offer. That is the thing that organizations see, they ask you, what do you think you can offer us? So these are the things you should be able to offer. Your personal achievement, academically, also professionally, as a person, as a community leader, or what are the things that you have done in your area. So these are all personal achievement. Or maybe in the teamwork, or maybe as a sports person. So these are your personal achievement, your educational preparation. How are you like preparing yourself? I remember when I spoke to to you all in the first class of the semester, many of you are said who are into machine learning. Parallelly, you are doing some accountancy, getting some accountancy training. Other people are into some kind of like um, leadership role where you can get to do more like reach out to more people by talking to them, learning these communication skills. So you are already there, right? And those who are not yet, or those who can also class. Is there anybody asking a question? No, Saibi, better you have your video, I mean, things off. Educational preparation. So how do you proceed? How do you want to do some other certification things? Work experience. So work experience, not necessarily it has to be totally employed paid job, but while you are doing your undergrad program, you can still have some work experience on those areas, like maybe through your club, or maybe do some freelances jobs for your senior alumni, or maybe for the company that you are somehow attached to. You can also work for them. So these are work experiences. Skills, what skills do you have? Like both from your music or into some painting, artwork. So they are the ones that can be used in the organization to give this kind of skills or to promote those kind of programs in the organization, right? So you need extracurricular activities. Maybe you are somebody who is like very good at football, and nowadays in order to connect with other organization or with different clients, these corporate organizations are organizing sports. So you can be a good sports person to represent your company. So these are the things you can work on to your advantages. So find out all the things that you know about yourself. Sometimes we don't understand what our strength is. Maybe we are a lot stronger than what we believe. Maybe other people or other side, our audience will appreciate those skills more than we do. So, but we don't like count them as our strength. But actually, those are your strength. So you have to find venues where you can talk about your strength with your potential employers, your personal characteristics. That is maybe how well you are as a team leader, how well you are to take up initiative. So with this, I would say for Marianne, suppose as she has opted to be a like a what class representative of this section, that itself tells about her personal character. Like she is into a leadership role. She wants to lead somebody. She wants to take care of others, right? So it is not leading. It is mainly you can see that take care of others. If you have any problems, you can reach out to her. Then she can reach out to me, right? She said like people are having problem accessing the files. So if I can share it in the Google Drive, so that itself is taking initiative to find out what how you can make people's life more comfortable. So these are personal characteristics. So you have to like beat your own drum kind of thing. So these are the things what can you offer to your potential employer. So this we have understood. So now like here, later, what do you want to do? Sometimes for many of us, we are not 100% sure yet what we want to do. So in order to find out what we actually want to do or what kind of organization will be more suitable for us, so for that cases, you can ask this question, you can delve into this topic, you can find from others about this, and then you can really decide like what like few organization that you would really prefer to work into that matches your values, your personality, the kind of work you want to do, where you can really think that you can grow, you can connect, you can offer more, or you can to find ask yourself all these questions and find out more about these jobs. So that's how you proceed. Type of occupation, name of the job, specific compensation, maybe the lifestyle you want to maintain. Lots of time people say, oh, but maybe working for an embassy could be a good work, but not necessarily. Maybe at one point you might not like because it is somehow very dull and short. Maybe you want more challenging because you are capable of doing that. So rather than having a very certain, not so well, like a you know um, interesting work, because here you won't have a much of a leadership role also. There are lots of paperwork and you do it and you get done. But would you prefer to do that? Or would you want to take challenges in life and you grow faster and maybe you can cash on big paycheck also? What would you want for yourself? So find that. General career goals. Do you want to grow really like fast in your within your career and learning new skills or all? Or you want like a more stability or more differences, diversification and what? So ask yourself questions, size of company. Do you want to work for a very big company or you want a niche, closed niche company and everybody's meeting every day there's a huge connection and all this. What do you want? Type of operation. Again, what kind of job is that? What skills do you require? What are the work that you need to do? How many times do you need to get to see your clients and everything? Location, where is it? Is it, do you want to work? Are you fine working like maybe outside of Dhaka? Lots of people might prefer that. You have a big place to stay. You have a full-time internet connection. You have all the facilities, but you may be working in a remote area. It's not in the city, cosmopolitan in Dhaka. It is somewhere very remote. Could be because Unilever, BAT, all these, they have market all over in Bangladesh, right? Maybe in Dhaka it's less, somewhere else in the other district it is more. But would you prefer to stay? Maybe you get lots of facilities, but has to be apart from, you have to change your lifestyle and everything. You have to stay apart from your like close friends and families, or you won't be able to hang out in your favorite restaurants and all. But the other benefits and perks are there. So you have to find out all this, and through that, you can decide better. Like the facilities, as I just said, perks, right? What are the facilities? What is the corporate culture? In some culture, it is very somber, like very serious and all these things, very individualistic. You do your work, you get the payment, you leave. You don't even get to see how your other colleagues are working and all. In some corporate culture, they are more into team building and all this. From time to time, they all go out for recreation. They bring in, they recognize people who have having to take initiative in different things, not only work-wise or skill-wise, but lots in the other area too, maybe in the connection and all these things also. Human connections are more important in these kind of corporate culture. So find out what works for you. So ask this question, reach out to people who are there, and then go out for maybe a coffee meet or something like that, or be a part of those kind of clubs where you see these professionals hang out more. And from there, you can find out about them. Maybe it's those kind of restaurants which are in the avenue where you see all this Grameenphone or all these bank employees go to. Why don't you go to as well? So don't think yourself, you are still young, you are just 200 level student, you are just hanging out. Give 1 day for that. Keep 1 day for that and see how you feel. I'm spending so much time in the first four slides and all these things because these slides are, I think, are more important because the later slides are very much like a self-explanatory and you already know it. So you just follow through them. So building your career, employment portfolio, interim assignments, workplace skills, networking, lifelong learning. See, I already told you. So what you do, what are the stands? You have to put them in a certain order. For that, you need an employment portfolio. So according to this chapter, it is like a folder where you put all the certification, all the report that you have done, all the maybe the experience you have gained, little, big, or whatever. So you can put all of them. So whenever it is necessary, you can put this out. So from time to time, you can see what are the things that you have gained experience in, what more you can do. So from there, you can plan your skills building, stacking up your skills, right? Interim assignments. So from times, maybe for summer, do some kind of job. It could be, so nowadays it's more acceptable in our society that you can go to you can work in a restaurant, you can work in a store and everywhere. And why wouldn't you? Because that's how everybody's required to have some kind of experience where you are working with the customers upfront, where you're serving your customers, because that requires lots of like a patience. You need to really take care of your ego and everything like that. So that's a huge experience. So these are the things you can do. Workplace skills, networking, lifelong learning. So these are the things you have to keep in your mind if you want to build up a career. The lifelong learning thing. It's not that you get to a job, you got comfortable knowing the skills, and there's no learning new things and you are fine with that. No. You have to keep yourself keep challenging yourself, learning new stuff. The employment research, build toward career, prepare resume, understand interview process, prepare for the interview, take the interview, follow up and accept offer. So that's how the whole employment search work. So build toward career. So this build toward career, don't wait till the end. Build it from now on. Learn the skills, find out people, find about the corporate culture, get yourself adapted to that kind of lifestyle, that kind of wearing clothes, that kind of time, waking up early in the morning, going to those kind of places, see how it feels. Prepare your resume from now on. So you can prepare a master resume where you have got everything, and then you can customize when you go to reach out to different industries. Understand interview process, find out. Maybe Grameenphone does it in a different way. Lots of other small organizations do it in a different way. BAT has its own way of doing things. So these things you have to understand. Prepare for your interview. Of course, there's a mock interview chances you will get later in the in this I mean in the years that you are in, maybe in the senior in their final year. But whatever chances, if any club or anything that is offering where you get to sit for an interview, take that opportunities. Even these presentations and all in the schools are all because of that. So don't depend on, like, when you work in a group and you work with good students, and there are some students who take all the initiative and just being part of that group, you get a good marks, right? But actually, you are missing out the chances by being a part of that. Maybe for few courses you do that, but there also be few courses where you are taking the lead, because that's how you can learn a lot about it. How to do the report, how to bind that, how to do the PowerPoint slides completely, how to decide what will be the structure and everything like that. Because sometimes when you work with a very good student, you don't get much chances, because those students, it's not because they want to impose and all, they think it's for everybody's good, they take mostly the initiative, but you are missing out doing the work, right? So I'm talking about everybody. So take the opportunities of learning also from others, and at the same time, you have to take the charge initiative of implementing those learning too. So maybe this semester you got the chance to work with one of your classmates who is very good. So good thing. So you have learned everything from them. In the next semester, at least for one courses or one kind of like a one assignment or one deliverables, you have to take the lead to implement that learning. And take the interview. So prepare for the interview. You have to understand how to prepare for the interview, and then you take all the opportunities where you can take the interview and follow up and accept offers. So that's how the whole job thing work, employment search work. But since you are not a part of that now, what you will do, you will do what? These things now. Organize your approach. So what is it? Monitor business and financial news, research specific companies, look for job openings, respond to job openings, build a network, seek career counseling. So the things that I already said, so you have to be a part of that kind of group where you can know about those businesses. You have to follow financial news. You have to monitor the businesses, how they are operating, what leadership changes have occurred, what is their culture. So if you find out all the bulletins and everything, all the things about these companies and the businesses, and follow them closely, so that when you sit for the interview or anything of this company or with this company, you are totally thorough. Like who was their leader, at what point of time, what are the problems maybe they got into, how they got out, what are the new initiatives they have taken, what project they have got into recently. You are well rehearsed, well versed in all those things. Research specific companies. So that is the thing, you have done your homework and you do it. You have to research specific company. Look for job openings. Find out what are their job openings, what kind of skills are they looking for. So you can also prepare yourself to those skills, with those skills. Build a network. Find out who are the people in your LinkedIn work in this company. Find out if you can create a connection or have a connection with them. Maybe get a lead, maybe an alumni, or maybe through a family member, or through a friend, or maybe a senior brother or somebody like that, or sister. Find out. And then create connection. Seek career counseling from them. Like you say, like, I really want to work for this kind of organization. What do you think I should be doing from now on? These are the things you need to do. Okay, give me a minute. I'm coming because I have to find out something. I know a little disruption today, a little, but no worries, we'll be able to. Okay. Lots of people, I see that you are coming so late. Why is that so? For this class, I haven't done that, but I want to tell you that there's an option I know where I can like really lock the meeting room, which I'm thinking of doing that in the like when we have the presentation. So you have to come by 8:30 sharp, everybody. And by 8, I mean 8, everybody has to be in the room by 8. And by 8:05, I'm going to lock the room so that I don't need to admit anybody. And because since you will be doing the presentation and you will be sharing the screen and all this, and we'll be in a time rush also. So everybody should be there all together. And if any of you could not make it to the room, you won't make it to the room. That's how you'll be missing your individual presentation also. Okay, so organize your approach, already said a lot, monitor business and financial news that build up a career. See, so this particular slide, it is important. Number 7 slides, how you can organize your approach. So you can write this few things and you can explain further, because this is something that you already know, but you can just go through it once and you will remember it properly. So these slides are, as I wanted to say, are nothing so like a different than you already know, but maybe for some students, you don't write so elaborately. I told you earlier, right? Okay, for your midterm, only few scripts are left, because after the last class, I couldn't check any of them, like the few one that is left. But what I've noticed, few students have written or given an example more detailed. They have tried to connect what you have learned from the um, from this course, plus you have tried to relate things with your own experiences. That makes a whole difference when you write stuff, right? But the other student, they have just like a given few extract from your like a own experience, but you are not backing it up with any theory. So that makes a difference, right? So when for this particular slide, which we said, like we already know this, organize your approach. Maybe you say monitor business and financial news. What does it mean? You are supposed to write then few lines about that too. Respond to job openings. How would you do that? Okay. Then you can say maybe how would you write it and all. You have to, in order to like just, um, you wouldn't make the application, right? Maybe you would seek out, do some homework on the companies and find out what kind of like a style do they require and all this. Maybe some companies, they get their like resume, the application filtered by some AI tools. So they will only pick those familiar words which are, and from there, they will just filter the application. So you have to find those things also. And then you prepare your resume, you write it down, you complete by using that listing process and all. So I want you to write a little bit more than it is just out there. So 3-step resume process, we all know that. We have to plan, we have to write, we have to complete, right? This is for every case. And every resume should be different, and every company is different, so you won't give all of it over. So as I said, you will have a master resume where you have all your skills, all your experiences, everything. And then whichever company or industry that you're focusing in, you will customize your resume in that order. Because if you give too much information about you, that also work against you in a sense, because they think that you are trying to pose or you are not very much secured. That's why you're giving all those irrelevant information as well, thing like that. So that's why your resume need to all information and adaptation. You have to keep in mind. You have to know who is your audience. You have to know what is your purpose. And from that perspective, you have to give the information and you have to adapt the style and the requirement. What employees seek. So what employers seek, you have to understand. Result orientation. So this is another slide for this chapter, I would say important. Slide 10. What employers seek. What would employers want from you, right? We have learned that earlier, what you are able to do for the employers. And here we are seeing what the employers want from you. Somebody who is result oriented, somebody who is result driven. You want to see at the end of the work, you want to see what number you have attained. But these are very much important to you. Okay, the job, the career, the education, the certification, whatever you have done, because you are driven by result. So that is very important to you. So this is that. And the result could be like how well the work have done, what more thing you have learned. So what is your reflection process? How do you justify the result or understand or explain the result or interpret the result? Workplace achievement, somebody, people who wants that too, right? People would want, employers will try to hire those people. Workplace achievement. Versatility means what? You can adapt very well, you can do lots of things together, or maybe you have skills in different areas. So this is versatility. Like you know your numbers very well too. At the same time, your communication skills is also very good. So that is versatility. Signs of progress. You are somebody who always want to do better than what you have done earlier. So you're more concerned about your own personal goals. Signs of progress. You're always improving, trying new things, learning, taking up challenges. So this is signs of progress, stanzas of excellence. Your excellence, you are very critic. You are very like no, you don't get satisfied so easily with the performance. Your standard is very high. Flexibility. At the same time, you are somebody flexible also. If somebody asks you to do something else, or maybe change the rules, or maybe adapt to some new situation, you should be able to do that. Some people are very confirming. They are very, maybe their standard of excellence is very high. They're concerned about their own personal goal. They are research or results oriented and all this, but they are not flexible. They wouldn't want to learn from others or try new things. So this is another thing. Communication skills, very important. Now the communication skills is not only in writing and oral, it is through technology also. So that is the thing. Okay. So that is communication skills you have to know, especially in this era. Find out all about new communication tools, anything that is there. Find out how you can elevate that more, enhance it to your own use. So this, I would say, is important. Then organizing resumes, work history, educational level, chronological resume, which are that. Like some are like time bound, right? Like whatever you have done, the most recent one, you put that first, and then you slowly go backward. Then combination resume, there could be that. Personal background also, personal objective is that rather than chronological. Functional resume, it's more like skills and accomplishment. Doesn't matter when you have done that, all the skill that is required to do this job, you only put this there. So find out more about what kind of resume is required. So more you talk, it also says, give the impression that you are very what? Concerned, right? Like Anisa asked me questions. It is like that. She wants to do something good, something thoroughly. So that's why maybe she's asking me question, even if it is a little question she's asking. I also appreciate how Farhan asked me question. Maybe there are lots of things that I won't even remember to mention. Maybe I take it for granted that you have already understood. But when you guys ask me questions, other get benefited too, and I can also explain you further on that. So these kind of habits are important. Resume components. So what are the things that you are going to put in the resume? Contact information, career objective or summary, academic credential, employment history, activities and achievement, relevant personal data. So what is this relevant personal data? The other stuff I think we have understood. Personal data, sometimes you don't give the address also. You just give how they can reach out to you, but you don't need to give your address. You don't need to give your picture at all. So some people, like of course in our like people who are more exposed to like a here maybe won't, but there's some people they might put their like a marital status. You really don't need to give that at all, right? So or your sexual orientation unless or until that is asked. So what these are your personal data you can avoid, but you can say what kind of clubs you are affiliated with, what kind of communities work you are doing. Maybe this kind of personal data you can give, or what you are really passionate about. Maybe some kind of sports you are really passionate about. It is worth mentioning then you will give those as your relevant personal data. Avoid resume deception, overstating educational credits, inflating grade point average, hiding gaps in work record, covering periods of employment, omitting. So even if you give this, you have to give them in such a way and be prepared to answer the question, maybe in the interview and all this, if it is asked that why there is a gap, why there is a like a period of unemployment. So there should be a valid reason and you should be able to share that. And be honest with whatever your situation is. People appreciate that more because everybody knows that everybody is smart to understand that people go through bad phases. And if you have overcome that and you are still like a now you are like a trying to do something better, that is more appreciable rather than try to covering it up with some haphazard answer. So that is one thing. The common resume problem. So we know it. We just try to avoid it. So we won't be delving a lot more into this. Inappropriate length, hard to read. Inappropriate length. It's important not to go more than one page. Keep it one page, but don't put too many words to this. Okay, there has to be some white space also. Wordy, too sleek. If it is too sleek and it doesn't go with your credential, then it seems like somebody else have written this resume for you. And you won't be able to back it up when the question arises, right? Poorly reproduce, again, that is also important. That is, you have to create a balance, right? Amateurish, boastful, that is, amateurish means what? You are not professional. You don't know how the professional words are working. Okay, the words and everything. You have to be like, don't be too much boastful, dishonesty, gimmicky, carelessly written. So you have to be aware about this kind of things and you have to avoid those. Traditional resume. So we are not going through that anymore. Clean typeface, high grade paper, ample margin, leisure quality, appropriate length. So these are all different ones. So if you want, you can read it from the chapter, but we won't be going through those. So you see, can you see the asterisks or the star marks in the slides? You can see that, right? On the sidebar, can you see this asterisk against the slide
Yes, yes.
numbers? Yeah, so those slides are more important. Resume format. So this format also we are not going. So this is that like a HTML coded. That means it could be like from any website or anything that you can download as a plain text document that can be scanned from a hard copy. So these are like that. So you can also, but still I would say these are not so important. Okay. So how do you submit them? You email, you like make a mail, you do the fax. Maybe email and postal mails are more like common here. Fax is not that common anymore. But sometimes in some organization, they would right away ask you to send a resume or something like that. Maybe for that, fax is that. But actually, it's email now. No more of that, fax. Submitting online resumes. What are that? So lots of things over the time has changed. And in order to be sure what is the practices, you can always reach out to build it. So that's why building up a connection or network within that organization help you a lot. That I'm going to submit, how I'm going to do that. Maybe before the interview, you can even meet a person from that company and ask, know thoroughly about that company and what is it and all. You can check who will be your interview board. You can check their profile in the LinkedIn, and you can prepare your answer, your things like that. So it's easier for you to talk when you know about these people. Proofread your resume, definitely mechanics and details, current information, everything, dates, number, the spaces, all things have to be thoroughly uh, proofread. Writing application letters, be specific, include salary, keep emails short, aim for, because there's a cover letter, right? And every time you provide a resume, you have to provide a cover letter along with that. In the cover letter, you say about a little bit about the company. You say how you got to know about this job application. Then you write something that how well you are fit to do this job. And then you said that all this further information in detail are given in your resume. So every time, doesn't matter they ask for it or not, you have to provide a cover letter along with your resume. Type of application letter, getting attention, building interest, increasing desire, motivating action. So this is, they said, what kind of cover letter you can, or application letter you can have. Like it could be solicited, required, or unrequired. And these are could be your purpose. But when you give it with your real resume, of course, you can give all of them. So the whole order you can be maintained of ADA model, right? So first, maybe a little bit of the company and how you are so much like a well fit to work there. Maybe that is attention. And as you give your skills, that is interest, and then you build up your skills with the organization's requirement, that is desire. And then in the last line, you can say that you have attached your resume. Another thing, maybe you give you the link of your website or your LinkedIn or other things, other social profile. And this is your action, uh, telling them how you can be reached out. Culture consideration, definitely you have to understand. That is organization culture, country culture, and everything, the right style and approach. So that's why you can reach out to somebody who's already working in that organization, and that person will tell you. So every time, I cannot emphasize more about networking and connecting. So that is, maybe you are highly skilled, your English is very thorough, very good, you are very good at writing this resume or this professional like a communication. You are very good at that. But still, networking, knowing the right people in that organization will take you further on. Sometimes you are too, if you're too skills, maybe that also backfire because they might not see you as one of their teams members. So other employment messages, why would we do that? Job inquiry letters, application follow-ups. These could be also reason why you write to the organization. So see, so with that, we came to the end of this chapter. So this chapter is nothing difficult. The slides are also very like self-explanatory. So if anything comes from here for you to write, you can easily write from the slide, but you have to give more information, connecting everything that you have learned from the other chapters, from your experience and things like that. So that is the most important thing. Akif Muhyuddin, can you tell us why did you come so late? Akif, so see, this is the reason what I'm going to do. I'm telling you this, the next class. Okay. Now tell me, when is our presentation on the ADA model?
1st December, 8.
1st December. That is our next class, right?
Yes, miss.
So, yes. And what is the time?
8 a.m.
So everybody has to be in 8 a.m. And by 8:05, I'm going to lock the room. Lock the room, there's an option which I have recently learned about. I didn't know about this earlier. Where you
Ma'am,
get, yes,
could you tell about the presentation date again? I didn't really catch that.
presentation date.
Yes, ma'am.
Date is 1st of December. That is Friday.
Yes.
Remember, we are supposed to do a makeup class for this section. Not the makeup class. I think that it's a school required makeup class because as we are having our final exam a little bit earlier, so that's how they are taking it away ahead, a week ahead, or maybe a day ahead. So that's why each of these time slots have a makeup. Last Friday was for Sunday, Tuesday, and this Friday is for Monday, Wednesday, and maybe next Friday will be for Thursday, Saturday. So we have that. And yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt, miss. আপনাকে আমি যে লাস্ট দিন বলেছিলাম যে আমার স্লাইডসটা একটু চেক করা যায় কিনা, সো আমি আপনাকে মেইল করেছিলাম।
করেছো Meg?
জি
Okay, I
miss.
haven't checked it, so I will check it and give you my opinion. I'll do it. But I'll have back-to-back classes after this.
Yes,
So
miss.
what I'm going to do, remind me again sometimes in maybe 3 o'clock,
Okay,
write to
miss.
me. Then
Yes.
maybe we can do like 5 minutes of calling and do it together.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so this is the thing. So on next class, don't miss out. Keep everything prepared. 8:05. Then so you have to also keep in mind we'll do our class will be a little longer. Okay, our class will be a little longer because if we want to finish the all the presentation in one session, so that's how we will do it. And what else? This is that. I haven't taken the attendance. I'll take the attendance now. So we are left with what? 2 chapters. That is chapter 10 and chapter 10 and chapter 11. So that is one chapter is for proposal writing. Another chapter is for report writing. So in this chapter, rather than going through the whole chapter, there is a section which mainly talk about structure. I would want you to go through that. In the next class, I will not the next class, the following classes, the after the next class, we'll go through that. And before that, I'll give you a topic on which you'll be working. What I am thinking right now, what I was thinking before the class, that here our main purpose is to use the structure of the report, not about much of an information. Information is fine. I want you to write, and at the same time, don't want you to use all the information that you can get from online resources, like uh, like ChatGPT or thing like that. So this is another one. So maybe you will get access of those, but you can get your research from those, but eventually you have to write. So I want you to do, everybody lives in a certain area, and I want you to write about your area. So in a report, in your location, and what are the major changes you want to make. So for that, you will be writing, it's a report that you will be writing for like a city corporation, mayor of city corporations. So these are a few of the things you have to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a information that is required, but on your own location. So for that, you don't have to go out of your vicinity, out of your own area. You can talk to people around you. You can do a small survey, or just within your family, you can do that. Take the discussion. What are the things need to be done and everything, and you have to write. So that is your topic will be. But it will be very short, but main purpose is how well you can put it in the report form. So this is what I was thinking, but I'll put it in a more refined way and put in the words so that it will be easier. But the topic will be that, like it is, and how we can improve, what are the things need to be done to improve, or maybe like to make our area or the location more livable. Maybe we need a park. Maybe you can say like we have like about like a 80,000 people living in this small location, and they are like people of this many age, but there are only 1 or 2 schools, or maybe there's no playground. So whatever the challenge is, maybe a road needs to be fixed, or maybe there has to be some like a dispensary where people can get like what access to medicines and all this in any like hour, 24-hour dispensary should be open. So these things you can say. So these are the things. So that is, you wouldn't just sit in front of your like computer and find the information. You have to really go around, take a look in your location, in your area, and find out what are the things need to be done. Sometimes we don't do that at all, right? We live in an area for years, but we hardly go out. But you have to think from the community perspective too. And this is the thing you can do. Maybe a small club where all the youth of your age can gather, seniors, people can come together, because that's how you create an affiliation. That's how you know how where each of these uh, people who are living together forever but don't know much about each other. But through them, it will be much easier to get into your desired company, job, or thing like that. Because they can say, oh, we are in the same area. I know his family pretty well. Thing like that, right? So whatever you have to find out, but I'll give you a certain structure, but you can add your own points. And that will be the report of this term.
Yes,
Yes.
আমরা কি মাল্টিপল প্রবলেমস নিয়ে কথা বলতে পারবো,
হ্যাঁ,
নাকি
মাল্টিপল
স্পেসিফিক একটা
প্রবলেমস
হতে
নিয়েও
পারে?
কথা বলতে হবে। মাল্টিপল প্রবলেমস নিয়েও কথা।
Thank you.
So I think it will be interesting in a sense. You can really reach out, go out of your home, find out what actually is there, how many schools are there, how many, if you can find out, like of course তোমাদের সিটি কর্পোরেশনের একটা জায়গা তো আছে যে তোমাদের এই পার্টিকুলার এরিয়াতে পপুলেশন এখানে ঢাকা সিটির রিকোয়ারমেন্ট অনুযায়ী এখানে কয়টা স্কুল আছে, কয়টা কি আছে। So if there is a requirement or not, you can find out যে আদৌ কি একটা এরিয়ার স্পেসিফিক কোনো রিকোয়ারমেন্ট থাকে কি, আর যদি থাকে তোমার ওগুলো কি সবকিছু আছে কিনা, who is the like a authority body who is in charge of these things, because we actually don't know many of these things, right? So these are the things will be a part of that. তো এইটা বাসায় বসেই করতে পারবে, আর প্রত্যেকদিন বিকালে you can go out and find out, আর এই অবরোধের মধ্যে তোমাকে অনেক দূরেও যেতে হচ্ছে না, এই এরিয়ার মধ্যেই ঘুরে you can collect all the information. All right, so I'll take the attendance now, and hopefully you'll be all prepared. I want to see some smart, good looking, and neat, like everybody in a proper dress on that day. So whatever you are wearing on your bottom, I don't care because I won't be seeing, but at least you should look professional with a jacket, with a shirt or something that you would prefer to go read outside. And doesn't matter if you're presenting or not at that particular like slot, everybody will have your video open. And you can you will be on mute, but video open. The person who will be talking will be sharing the screen and will be talking. Okay. So that's how we'll do. So now let me take the attendance. Okay, Shourab Mukherjee, Amlan Dotto, Mohammad Wasif Islam,
Present, ma'am.
Yusufuddin Rakib. See, Amlan Dotto came now. How do you say, as a teacher, how should I feel? Yusufuddin Rakib, Tarana Murshed,
Present, Miss.
Akif Muhyiddin,
Present, ma'am.
Abid Hanaf, Samira Akhtar,
Present, ma'am.
Firdos Fuad,
Present, ma'am.
Akimul Haq, Mohaimin Jawad, Anisa Islam,
Present, Miss.
Tafsirul
Yes, Miss.
Hassan, yes, Amlan, you missed your attendance because you just came.
My
What? Abdullah Noor, Sheikh Aziz Ashraf,
present, ma'am.
Raisan Kabir, Saibin Abrar,
Present, ma'am.
you are also came just
Uh,
now. Farhan
no, ma'am.
Tanveer,
I just got disconnected because of bad network. I was here from the first.
Farhan Tanveer, Mihir Das,
Yes, ma'am.
Ali,
Present, ma'am.